Because then when you're streaming that much, you don't have time to explore other games. You don't have time to live life. What are you talking about on stream? Your streams get boring because you don't have things to talk about outside of the game. You don't have points of engagement. And also, the more you give hours like that without any break, the more it becomes an expectation. Episode 2 of the Thumbstick Mafia podcast. You should have listened to the first one by now. That one was all about your coins. And this podcast, we're actually going to start a series, and it's called Diversify Your Platforms. It's a little bit self-explanatory, but we're going to get into that. I'm here, of course, with the awesome, the amazing, the sim god herself, Sharkyshood. Say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sharkyshood. Everybody calls me Sharky, and I could be found everything on social media, Sharkyshood.
Yes, because there should be consistency in your branding. Major key. And I am, the tall one, Anastasia, aka Seeker, aka Chasing Lux, everywhere on social media. Seeker everywhere for the gaming. And we're about to break you off with a little something. So, Sharky, tell the people why we decided to go this route in terms of starting the conversation on diversifying your platforms. We touched a little bit on it on the last episode, but let's elaborate.
Whew. It's a lot to elaborate on. I just kind of, when I was actually really active in stream culture, I kind of noticed a lot of people will kind of stick to one platform and they'll be like, oh, I want to be a full-time streamer on this platform. And it's like, okay, nothing wrong with your goals, but how are you going to really expand your brand beyond this platform? Or how are you even going to reach out to people beyond this platform to grow? And so from my experience with that, that's when I kind of thought about diversifying platforms and the importance of it for growth outside of a platform, so you can have a robust brand that's not so dependent on one platform. Because if shit hits the fan on that platform, you are SOL.
Absolutely and completely out of luck.
Yeah, that's just freaking the bottom line. And then after the last episode, it kind of just made sense to talk about it. And then some news came out, and it was just like, okay, so yeah, this is going to be, because we're going to talk about the news a little bit later.
Yes. We definitely got to get into the news and the changes.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot.
A lot.
It's a lot.
But it's good, though. It's great. It's great for, in my opinion, for content creators.
I think so, too. I feel like having options is always going to be an amazing thing. Unfortunately, I feel like for too long, people have seen and regarded Twitch as sort of the be-all, end-all for success as a streamer. And I'm not going to say that there isn't success there to be found and that it is impossible, but we need to start acknowledging that there are other options out there. And also maybe Twitch And even YouTube gaming may not fit your brand and what you want to use streaming and content creation for. I think sometimes we get too caught up in where the big numbers are and we just sort of like throw everything into it without stepping back and doing the research and thinking about what we want to eventually grow and build into.
I have nothing to add to that because I really was gonna go into that next, but you pretty much just
Oh
hit
yeah,
it.
but we're gonna all the way go into it. Like they're finna get this heat.
Because a lot of people don't realize, like, you probably can't make Twitch pop, but you can make Facebook pop.
Right.
You know, you might already have community on there, or you might have an idea that you can integrate into your groups or profile or whatever that will make your gaming page pop. You know, and it will fit for you, and you can generate an honest audience on that. You know, off that. But anywho, let's go ahead and get into these platforms. 'Cause-
Yes, we're gonna start with Twitch, of course, because it's the one that I think everyone's most familiar with. It's definitely, I mean, I hate to like have to say it, but it is the leading, you know, gaming
Yes.
streaming platform. It is in terms of the numbers. It has been around for quite some time also, and we do need to factor that in when we are talking about these gaming platforms. We can't expect, a platform that's 3 years old to pretty much be rocking with the same things or have the same reach as Twitch. And we need to factor that in also when we're making these decisions. But yes, let's start with Twitch. Give us the basics, Sharky.
Okay, so the basics. Well, Twitch launched June 2011, but before that, it was Justin TV, and Justin TV was pretty much just like a catch-all live stream platform. I guess what they call it in real life streaming. You know, they
Hmm.
had all of that on there, and then they decided to narrow their niche down to specifically gaming, and they pretty much blew up from that. Um, Twitch has added a couple of new features lately. Like the most recent one, I haven't really used it, but I have seen people talking about it, and it does seem like a great idea. Was the communities feature? So, oh, go ahead. You want to say
No,
something?
I definitely I use it because Black Girl Gamers created a community on there. The one thing I would say is that the only way I can add it, since I stream through the Elgato and I don't use OBS or XSplit or anything like that, is you actually do have to utilize Twitch's dashboard to enable the community so that it's there on your edit. That's the only thing. But I do like the communities feature, but it's new. Lots of folks aren't using it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure like what the rules are in terms of like using it because hey, if you're like a really big streamer and you create this community, like it just seems like you could just search and add. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I can see how it can get sketchy with, say, for instance, I create a Thumbstick Mafia community, and then, a white male streamer adds a Thumbstick community because there's nothing preventing, you know what I mean? There's nothing to moderate that.
I didn't know that. I thought it was one of those things where you set up a community and you can invite people to join and they can accept or decline.
Well, see, it's still in beta now, as far as I know, the last time I looked through that page, but girl, I just be searching Black Girl Gamers and adding it. Like, I couldn't even find a way, and I'm not even like saying this to be funny. I couldn't even find a way to like ensure that I was joined to the community. I could just search it, I can see the page, and I can add it when I'm in the dashboard. That's all I've been able to access and see via the Twitch site. I haven't checked it maybe in like a week or two because
Mm-hmm.
it's just like auto added now. So maybe it's out of beta and maybe they're doing some other things with it. But as far as I know, nah.
That's interesting. Well, beyond the communities feature, they also have hosting and auto hosting. If you don't know what hosting is, basically you can, what's the word? You can stream somebody else's channel on your page. So, say
Right.
for instance, I'm done streaming and Seeker is on, and I want to show her broadcast on my channel. I just hit host, bam, my viewers can see Seeker stream, and then she'll get credit, or she'll get like the view numbers from that. And then auto hosting is basically you can set up to where, you know, if you're away from Twitch but yet you still want to promote other streamers on your channel, you can enter in their names, and then so whenever you're away, if they hop on, bam, you're automatically hosting their channel.
Yes, I do like that they added and changed the auto host feature a lot, because the way that it used to be before is you'd have to go into the settings, and not that it was that complicated, but they've made it easier, way easier, because I noticed too now that like I went and I hosted someone last night,
Mm-hmm.
and it automatically asked me like, "Hey, do you want to add this person to your auto host list?"
Ooh,
And I like that. That's really cute.
that
I like it when
is.
y'all are cute. Me too.
Well, y'all take the initiative to be better.
Yeah, when y'all keep it cute, I really like it. I really do. So I like that feature. I know that when they first redid the auto host, it did mess up a lot of people's like previous, you know what I mean, listings. But they've made it so much easier for you to do. It shouldn't be that hard for you to like get back. And while we are talking about hosting, hosting is a very important part of community building.
On
I
Twitch.
don't know. Yes, I don't know if we want to get all the way deep into that right now. Maybe we need to do a like later in the series, Sharky, we do more on like building, like what you do to build in these different platforms.
Yeah, because it's gonna vary from platform to
Yeah,
platform.
and
Because
because we'll get lost talking about
yeah,
about this right now.
because
So
each
let's table
community.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So the next thing is that Twitch has is Twitch Inspector.
Hmm.
Pretty much it helps you troubleshoot what's going on with your stream. If you're having connection issues, encoder related, while broadcasting, it'll be like, hey, this is going on. You might want to look at this, da 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 da. Which is great because I kind of, it's really frustrating as a streamer when someone says, oh, snap, your stream is buffering or we lost connection, and then you don't know what's going on. And so now you're spending time trying to figure out what they see, what's going on your end, and yeah, it can really get messy and time consuming. So this is pretty dope in my opinion because it really does help the streamer hopefully troubleshoot what's going on with their streams a lot faster.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Troubleshoot what's going on with them servers a lot faster.
Now, Twitch does have analytics. And I stress the importance. Okay, let me go ahead and say this. The series, all the stuff that we're talking about, it's for people who are considering turning streaming or content creation into a career. If you just doing it for fun, this is not for you. Continue to stream for fun. I don't care. But this is strictly for people who want to go or who want to attempt to go the next level with this. Analytics is your friend. You need to know who is watching your stream. You need to know how many people is watching your stream. You need to know how often they are coming to the stream. You need to know how long they are staying on in your stream. Because if you eventually want to go out and reach out to sponsors, they are going to ask for this information. Point blank, period. They're going to want to know these numbers. And so it is very important that you have these numbers on deck. And the platform that you use is very important that they are detailed in the demographic information that they give you. So that way you can be prepared to go out to sponsors. A platform that doesn't give you accurate demographic information for the people that you bring to the community, they're not really trying to help you grow off the platform. That's just the, in my opinion, the black ass bottom line.
Hashtag facts.
Right. So with Twitch analytics, they have the chat activity pretty much, the number of people that chat, the numbers and which yay, but then there are bots, so it's like that can be, well, there are bots on to keep it 100% funky, there are bots for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So anywho, you have chat activity, you have concurrent viewers, the number of people who are watching like at that one moment or at that same time. You have unique visitors, and you have time watched. They have some other analytics, but these are the kind of stuff that I felt would be important if you were to put something together like a media kit. I feel
Right.
like these numbers right here are the best numbers you can use to make your case for wanting to be sponsored.
And there's also things too beyond being sponsored. I feel like if you are streaming and you're building, it's good to know where you're at so you can set goals for yourself so that you can understand what you're getting back for what you're putting out. So for me personally, I would look at my numbers for say 1 month and I'd be like, okay, well, I got this amount of views, I did this many streams. Next month, I'm going to try to do X amount of streams, and I'm hoping that I can, get maybe 10 more followers or 15 more follows, or, it's good to challenge yourself and not only be checking your analytics and getting into that like numbers beat down only to be partnered or to be sponsored. As a streamer, as a content creator, you need to be a student of your own industry and you need to be very, very aware of your own growth, regardless of what goal you're working toward. So these are like very, very important things. And with like Twitch and like YouTube, you can have like third party, like linked programs like Streamlabs, which will give you even more breakdowns. Like Streamlabs will tell you what day is the best day for your stream? What hour do you get the most views? And these are things that can help you build your schedule. They can help you understand when you do have dead time. It can maybe be helpful in letting you know, hey, maybe on Fridays, I don't need to stream 6 hours. The bulk of my activity happens in these 3 hours. But on Tuesdays, people click, but I don't stream. So you have to learn how to use that information and work that into your goals and understand how it works toward your goals.
Yes. Like, oh my gosh, yes, 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 yes. Like, I really wish people would pay attention to it so they could sit there and set a schedule that's based on when they're popping.
No, let's all stream on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, all of us together. And don't get me wrong, I am an advocate of doing whatever you want, whenever you want, playing what game you want, streaming whenever you want. But again, these podcasts that we're doing are not for your casual, I just want to have fun streamer. This is for, I'm building a brand. I will eventually maybe like to get some coin, or I'm building into other types of content creation, and this is just one aspect. So this is not for your I stream whenever the hell I can streamer. Again, let's reinforce that. These are for people that are interested in making something more of streaming and content creating.
And then another point, because I know some people are going to be like, well, I'll just stream full time. I'll just do 40 hours a week. Let me tell you
Nah,
about that. Because
nah,
I did that.
nah.
Y'all who do that, all the praises, because the devil is a motherfucking lie.
Lie, he lies, he lies, he
I
lies.
did that, and I did that for a couple of months.
Girl, me
And
too.
I started to mentally, I was breaking down. Physically, my body was trash. Like, I went to work out. When I finally stopped doing the long streams and I went to go work out, I could not do a lunge. And before I
Girl.
could lunge it out, I could not do a lunge. And not only that, but I was actually doing more than 40 hours when it came to stream to content creation work, because there's stuff behind the scenes that you should be doing, that you should be looking into. Like, you should be keeping up on the industry, you should be figuring out ways how to grow. So 40 hours, yeah, that was full time, but then that could turn into sometime 60, 70, depending if I gotta edit YouTube videos. It could turn into like a literally all day thing, and I had no time to do nothing else, and that was not for me.
And can I tell you, it also made me fall out of love with streaming.
Oh
And I thought
yes.
that I didn't want to do it anymore. I was like, because I remember when Sharky and I started having these conversations, like, because we were both on this like crazy schedule. We were like, yeah, we're gonna do it. Like, it's not a problem. We just need time and dedication. We got this, right? No. Because then when you're streaming that much, you don't have time to explore other games. You don't have time to live life. What are you talking about on stream? Your streams get boring because you don't have things to talk about outside of the game. You don't have points of engagement. And also, the more you give hours like that without any break, the more it becomes an expectation. And then you really don't have time to build anything else. I mean, heaven forbid you have another hobby outside of gaming. What then? So it's really about balance. And again, more power to you if you do stream like a 40-hour week, you're doing it full time, that works for you. You're getting your coin, you're happy, Seeker and Sharky are bugging. Okay. All I'm saying is that's not the plan and it should not be the ideal for everyone. It's not healthy.
It's
It's
not.
not. It's absolutely not healthy. So what you want to do is what Sharky always preaches. You want to work smarter and not harder. You want to make sure that you are building, but that you don't forget about yourself because you are part of the commodity that you're selling as a streamer and as a content creator.
And if you break down, then there goes your whole business.
And you think, well, what you think gonna happen to all them view? Oh, now I got 5,000 views on Twitch. Now you're dead. Now what?
All right, so next we're gonna talk about affiliate programs for
She's like moving on before we start yelling at y'all.
because no, because it's like some people have died from this, and this I don't
No, no,
how often do we have to stress that this shit is unhealthy? Because
healthy.
it's not even 40 hours. People are pushing 24-hour streams, 48-hour streams. Oh, and I'm just like, chill. It is not
Relax.
freaking
Yeah.
worth it,
Not,
and you're pulling from the same viewers as other streamers. Like,
bloop.
oh, okay, no,
Okay,
I
yep,
said we were
okay.
moving on.
So, yep. So the next point that we're going to talk about
So
is the affiliate program for non-partnered streamers that they just recently announced this past week. So go ahead, school them, Sharky.
yeah, so they opened up Cheers, or they're going to open up
Yeah.
Cheers and Bits. And Bits are like just like these little funky little emotes that you pay for. There's a pay scale. I don't remember off the top of my head. We'll put it in the show notes definitely, but it's like $1.49 you get like 200 or like something bits to
Yeah.
and then the streamer gets a percentage of that. And I've been trying to figure out an exact breakdown of how much the streamer gets. Like, is it 10%, 20%? Da da da. I saw stuff that said Twitch gets 1%, and I'm like, that's
Oh.
real dicey language, in my opinion.
1% of what?
Yeah, like 1% of what?
And
So,
are there fees applied to that? Are there processing fees? Because you know what I'm saying? That fine print, though.
right. It's like, and this always happens because I remember this happening with like YouTube. It's always, oh yeah, we want to open up monetization, do it, more affiliate programs. And then when they do, people are like, what the heck? Because y'all, I don't know why y'all think this shit is sweet. Like, oh, they open it up and all of a sudden you're gonna be rolling in dough. No,
Nah.
that might work for a few people that are like on the cusp of being like blowing up. But if you were struggling before, you're gonna be struggling with these little bits.
Nothing has changed for you.
So now Twitch does have a partnership program. Though, how do you get partner? I don't know.
Yes,
I don't know.
it does seem to vary in very, very polarizing ways in terms of the partnership program because I've definitely seen people who have not met any of the requirements be partner. I've definitely know of people who have exceeded the requirements and are still not partnered.
But what are the requirements though?
Well, when you make it real vague, like, you know what I mean, that's what keeps it that's what keeps it hard. And like, and that's why I call it like the dangling carrot, because what they say is, they'll evaluate and they're looking for average concurrent viewership and stream frequency and schedule and content. But I feel like the numerical portion of it, they're never actually like really upfront, because then, of course they'd be held to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very much, I think, more based on I'm trying to choose my words carefully, because like I really don't want to like upset people or like say the wrong thing, but it's really about like what you can do for Twitch and how you're benefiting them. I feel like the partnership program is really on some wish upon a star stuff for us regular smaller streamers, which is why I call it like the dangling carrot. I feel like it's just not realistic. Twitch does have the numbers there, but if you're not giving us like firm guidelines, and smaller streamers and even streamers who have been around since like Justin TV are only now starting to get partnered, it's kind of like what are we doing here?
Because I do want to talk about, and this probably be later on, what partnership means besides the sub button.
Right.
Because essentially you are representing the brand, and I don't think people
You are.
realize that.
Mm-hmm. You now work for Twitch.
Freelance contract, what the hell ever they want to call it,
unpaid intern, whatever. I like unpaid intern for regular streamers.
You represent the brand, and that comes with a whole nother can of worms that I don't think people really want to deal with, but they want the benefits that come with partnership. They don't want to deal with the responsibilities of being partnered
or the restrictions, because you can't just act any old way. It's really a two-way street. Mm-hmm. You do get partnered, but yes, there are rules, there are contracts, there are things that you now can and cannot do. So I feel like in people wanting to be partnered, they just want the status of being partnered, but they're not quite understanding what that means on the back business end of things.
Yep. And that's one of the reasons why I say partnership is, for me, it's just a marker of popularity. It really doesn't mean anything, because I do understand that it comes with restrictions that I don't necessarily want to place on my brand at this moment.
I don't want that. Not for me. I'm sorry.
Like I don't, because I feel like what I can do is so much bigger than Twitch the platform, and I don't want them holding me to. I don't want it. I'm sorry. Like, maybe, and that can possibly change down the line. Some things might change, you know what I'm saying? Circumstances, whatever. That can possibly, but as of right now, it's just like, I see what it's about, and nah, it ain't that deep.
It's not. I will say this though. Let's talk about some of the cons of, not the cons. I'm so ready to still rag on them. The pros of Twitch. The pros, I think.
Why are we doing this? You gonna really sit here and make me think of pros? Like,
okay, only because we said we were gonna be fair. We said we were gonna be fair.
But I didn't write. Like, I have to sit here and write some. Like,
no. You don't have to write. I'm just saying, like, just off rip, like
that's what I'm
pros.
saying. I can't think of anything off rip.
I got you, boo.
Dead ass. Twitch
she said I can't think of anything.
Because Twitch ain't doing shit that these other platforms can't do, and probably do better. That's the
in comparison. That is true as hell. She's not lying. But the pro that I'm giving is also kind of like, it's more like a more than a pro.
Okay.
It's because they have been around so long and they have been in the niche for so long. The numbers are there based on what they keep telling us.
Because we don't want to talk about view bots, but go ahead.
Yes, we don't want to talk about view bots right now because I'm fake trying to keep it positive. So according to like Twitch's numbers that they release, like the numbers are there. So I understand why it's a very, very appealing platform and why a lot of people who have spent time, spent years building on it, even if they have not gotten to where they wanted, are having a hard time with accepting that there are other options because it's kind of like you've put all your eggs in one basket and then you see all these other nice ass baskets and you're like, shit. But we got views though. It's like, yeah, you got views, but are you getting those views? And then also the other thing is the growth of the views because the views have been more or less the same without that much differential. So, unfortunately, from my perspective, and again, disclaimer, I'm not an expert. From my perspective, I feel like yes, the numbers are there, but we're not seeing continued aggressive growth in those numbers.
As in the viewers are coming in because it's actually slowed down. And I had an article.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was. I guess we'll post the article. It was from. I think it was a Streamlabs article because they were saying that more people are going to YouTube gaming to stream. However, the chances of making money are a lot higher at Twitch, which I'm trying to figure out. Like which Twitch,
Who
like
said
who
that?
paid them to who
Yeah,
like
I'm
who at
like, who
Twitch
said
paid
that?
them to say that because Streamlabs just now opened up, like recently opened up for YouTubers. So
For
to
you.
make that assumption when it's like you just now getting into the YouTube market to be used, that's like silly to like whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna whatever that
Yeah.
because I'm not even gonna get into that. But yeah, that's really like the only like pro that I could like think of right off the bat. Like it's accessible because it's been around for a long time and a lot of people, you know what I mean, want to go with that brand recognition. So like I
Yeah.
get that, but we're just here to let you know like don't be afraid to like dip your toe elsewhere. And that's not to say, oh, just stop streaming on Twitch. No, we're trying to give you all of this information so that you can find what works for you and you shouldn't be afraid to try other like Twitch isn't going anywhere.
It's not no time
So
soon.
you hitting another platform or two or three or six to see how it works and if you like it, there's nothing wrong with it. You really shouldn't be afraid of doing so because the reality is if you're only building on Twitch and none of those viewers, none of your supporters are willing to support you on another brand, then what really is the strength of your community? Are you a Twitch streamer or are you a content creator and a streamer? Because if you are creating dope content and your community is dope and they're really here for you, it's really not going to matter what platform you're on. They're there for you, for what you're bringing. And don't get me wrong, yes, there's going to be a drop off because Twitch is more popular or YouTube is more popular.
Yeah, because people have
But,
their preferences. I mean, that's
right,
just a thing. But
absolutely. But how strong again is what you're building if Twitch decides that Twitch is no longer in existence tomorrow? What happens to your 5,000 followers? What have you been doing to ensure that you are capturing and engaging your community outside of the platform?
no lies told.
But we're gonna move on
Yep.
because we're getting too deep for right now. We're still going through all the so I'm just gonna like cap real quick for those of you guys listening. We are gonna put like some timestamps for you guys to help out. We are gonna cover. We just did Twitch. We're gonna do YouTube, and are we gonna do a little bit of Facebook Live?
Yeah, I want to. We want to go ahead and do YouTube Beam, and I really want to
A
touch on
Beam, yes.
Facebook.
Okay, so we're going to be doing Twitch, YouTube, Beam, and Facebook Live. And then you're going to have to look out for another episode in the series where we cover some of the smaller brands. But now, moving on to YouTube.
All right, so YouTube launched YouTube Gaming September 2015. Which that's so odd. I felt like it was last year.
Me
I
too. I
feel
was
like
looking at the date like, are you sure?
yeah, that can't. I think I'm wrong on that. I have to be wrong on that.
Maybe they launched it, but they didn't start like actually like brand rolling out and like really popping it. You know what I mean? Like for it to get like in front of us, like maybe we
Yeah.
didn't start seeing the money behind the launch until later on.
Yeah.
I think that's possible.
So it could be right. I don't know. Well, no, actually, 2015 does sound right. Cause actually, I think I don't know. Whatever. Anywho,
Anyway,
besides the point. So with the features, now this is one thing that had me cackling when it came to YouTube gaming. Because with YouTube gaming, you can actually stream mobile games from your device on YouTube gaming.
yup.
And I didn't realize that this wasn't a thing on Twitch until Pokemon Go.
Yes.
Because streamers on Twitch wanted to stream Pokemon Go, but they had all this stuff they had to carry with them to stream Pokemon Go. And I had actually told a streamer, I was like, hey, so you can stream Pokemon Go from your mobile device. And he was like, wait, word? And I was just like, yeah, you don't need all that equipment. And he went on, hit like 2, 3 buttons, and he was streaming Pokemon Go and had
Yep.
face cam and all.
Mm-hmm.
And I said this before, or I've said this on Twitter. Small stuff like this is what I feel like is gonna hurt Twitch from continuing to be the top dog in game streaming. How do you miss something like that when game streaming is so big? How do you miss something as small as that?
And mobile gaming is huge.
Yeah.
Honestly, there was a great opportunity for, a jump on that, even beyond Pokemon Go. And in our other stream, we're going to talk about another mobile streaming gaming site that's doing well also, that launched around the same time. It was late 2015, early 2016. But I feel like that is a huge aspect that a lot of people miss, or they don't really take seriously. But the demographic of like folks that are playing games on their phone, now that your phones can do so much more, it's only increasing.
Mm-hmm.
So the market is there.
And okay, so stream from mobile devices for the
Hmm.
games.
Yeah.
You can also do 4K streaming. So if you got the tech and you got the internet, you can do 4K streaming. Interesting. It also has DVR features during live streams, and I personally appreciate this as a viewer because sometimes I might come in a few minutes late, or sometimes something funny might happen, and I want to replay it and watch it. Like, I really appreciate the DVR feature for the live streams as a viewer. As a streamer, maybe it helps, maybe I don't know. I've never really factored that in as a streamer, but as a viewer, definitely like that. YouTube also provides analytics. With their demographic information, they provide age, gender, location, and device used. And if you connect your account to Google Analytics, you can get a tad bit more information about the demographics, about the people that visit your platform. Again, very helpful for when you want to get sponsors, which is why I kind of like YouTube's analytics a tad bit better, because I can like give a picture of who my audience is. As opposed to Twitch, I could just tell you the number of people in there, but I can't tell you anything about them. And me going to a company with that, they're gonna like, well, how do I know that these numbers of people? How do I know that my product is for them? You know,
Exactly.
how do I know that these are the people I want to reach? So there's that. Also, one of the things that I do take into consideration when it comes to YouTube is searchability on various search engines. Because if you get the views and your SEO, meaning the information that you put in your description and tags and stuff, is popping, you can find yourself highly ranked on the first page of a Google search. You can do that. If somebody searches for a game, like enter in your favorite game and see what videos pop up and on what platform they're on. I rest my case. All right. So, also, you can monetize videos. Now, fairly recently, YouTube has changed the rules to where you have to have 10,000 overall views before you can monetize your channel. And I know people are like, oh man, this restriction, what the heck? And let me go ahead and tell you, if you have less than 10K overall views, you're not making money. So why you bitching?
Step your content up.
Not even step. It's just a fact. Like, you can have dope content.
Yep.
But if you don't have like if you have less than 10K overall views,
yeah,
you're not getting a check. Like, period. Like, you're barely getting a penny. Like, I've been on YouTube and I've seen it enough to realize, like, so what if you can't monetize your video? If you could, you're not going to make any money off of it anyways, because you don't have the views to get the money. Now, the next thing is YouTube had, and I just recently found out that they discontinued their fan funding in February 2017. But basically, fan funding is what allowed people to basically support your content. You know, you had a little button and they could donate however amount of dollars to your channel or to your stream, which I kind of liked, because it was one of the things where if people like regularly watch your videos, but they don't watch your live streams, they could still donate. You know, like, oh, you know what, I like this, let me go ahead and donate some coins, you know?
Right. But don't they have that super chat thing? Is that something that's only linked to certain kinds of streams?
Yes.
Because I noticed that. So I'm sorry. Can you clarify? I'm sorry. You the YouTube god. You gotta.
Super chat is, if I'm not mistaken, you have to have over 1,000 subscribers.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, to activate super chat.
That's fair. And super chat is pretty much it's a built-in donation type tipping function where it's right underneath like the chat tab where you would type, and it just has a little $sign and you can just click on it. It comes up like right away. I love the integration of that. It's so smooth.
Yes, the fact that they have built-in donation, and honestly, 1,000 subscribers is okay. Let me not say it's, because it's a lot when you're just starting off. It's really a lot, but then when you look at the bigger picture, it's really not.
Yeah, when you're streaming consistently and you're putting out content, like, for me, it seems like a lot. Why? Because I rarely ever use YouTube. It's only now that I'm starting to, you know what I mean, like, use YouTube. But I'm at about 1,000 plus on Twitch, and it's been a while since I've been streaming consistently in the crazy way that I used to. So I feel like it's a manageable number. I feel like it's a very, very fair and manageable number.
Yeah, I think it is too.
I think, like, because one, it gives you a little bit of incentive, like, hey, yeah, it is going to take you a little bit of work to get here, but once you get there, I mean, hey, you popping.
Yeah. And I just like that they have a built-in donation system. How that's not available on
elsewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Another thing that they have that a lot of people might not know about, that I'm pretty much a fan of, is YouTube Bootcamp. And if you don't know, YouTube Bootcamp is basically like a series of videos, questions, quizzes. It's really like a workshop to help you better figure out YouTube and figure out the best ways to promote and to share, and how to set up your content to best succeed on YouTube. It is not saying that, yeah, if you do all these steps, you're guaranteed success. No, it's just kind of like a guideline and a rubric, them saying that, look, we noticed that channels, very popular channels, do this. So, you know, if you want to increase your chances or have a better chance, or if you want to try something new, then try doing this on your channel to see what happens. It's very, very valuable information, in my opinion. It's nice of them to give you a leg up. They don't have to do that. I like it.
Definitely. Yes. And I think that speaks to the platform being a larger platform and having, you know what I mean, experience with all types of video content. I feel like that definitely has helped them really narrow down like what the community needs, as they grow. And I really, really appreciate that out of YouTube.
All right, so the next platform we're going to get into is Beam.
Ultralight beam, honestly, like Listen to the entire episode at www.thumbstickmafia.com. Direct link to the episode is available in the description box below. The podcast can be found on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, Android, and Stitcher under the 3/5 Podcast Network. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter at Thumbstick Mafia. Want to share in the discussion? Then use the hashtag TMPod. Again, thank you for listening.